Monday, June 27, 2016. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. The economic markets, especially in London, continue to be chaotic as a result of Thursday's vote in Britain to leave the EU. The pound has dropped to a new 31-year low, trading below $1.32 for the first time. The 10-year British government bond has seen yields fall below 1% for the first time ever. The Bank of England, which was expected to begin raising interest rates this year, is now expected to actually cut them by a quarter point before the end of the year, which will continue to destabilize the currency. The leaders of Germany, Italy, and France are huddling in Berlin. Chancellor Angela Merkel of Germany said that there will be no informal talks with Britain until Britain invokes Article 50 of the EU treaty, which will trigger the process for leaving. Prime Minister David Cameron is going to be leaving in October and said that his successor should be the one to navigate that process. So it may not be until October when the formal invocation of Article 50 occurs. George Osborne, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, said that only Britain can invoke Article 50, which we know, and he said we should only do that when there is a clear view about what new arrangement we are seeking with our European neighbors. Translation: nobody has any idea what new arrangement England is seeking with their European neighbors. They don't know whether they're going to remain in the economic union, whether they're going to continue with passporting rights. So as a result, there is a tremendous amount of uncertainty right now, which is something that markets don't like. The Labour leader, Jeremy Corbyn, has seen a revolt in his own party, which has resulted in a number of his top advisors quitting because of outrage over his perceived lukewarm advocacy of the Remain process. Meanwhile, in Scotland, in Edinburgh, the First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, says she's considering whether to advise the Scottish Parliament to use its legal powers to prevent Britain from leaving the EU. Some 62% of Scots voted to remain in the bloc, and the Edinburgh-based Scottish Parliament would have to approve the vote. The Sydney-headquartered carrier QBE, the Australian big international group, warned that it may ultimately need to renew some £500 million of reinsurance premium currently sourced from EU member countries outside of England if passporting rules are not preserved. They indicated that there would be a possibility that they would move their continental European books to Dublin if the Brexit ended passporting rights. Back in May, AIG said the same thing, that they would consider leaving to another EU country if the Brexit campaign was victorious. Singapore Airlines Boeing 777 made an emergency landing in Singapore and then burst into flames. However, all 241 people on board were safely rescued. The plane had taken off from Singapore's Changi Airport on the way to Milan when the pilot noticed an oil leak, apparently, that caused it to return to Changi Airport. Upon landing, the plane's right engine caught fire. It was extinguished. Fortunately, everybody was evacuated from the plane safely. At least 25 people have been killed in West Virginia in flooding. President Obama has declared a disaster area in 3 counties. More rain is expected today. At least 35 people were killed and 11 injured after a bus crash occurred in central China. The bus then caught fire. This occurred in the province of Hunan. It was one of those long-distance buses that operate in China. And in Scotland, in Glasgow, at the M&D amusement park in Motherwell, some 3 children were hospitalized in serious conditions following a horrific crash yesterday at a theme park. A roller coaster apparently malfunctioned, causing youngsters to be trapped upside down hundreds of feet in the air for quite some time until they were rescued. We'll continue to monitor the fallout in global financial markets and see if finally anybody in England can decide what it is that they want now that they voted to leave. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.